Have a seat, Ayşegül.
Thank you, Miss Susanna.
Listen to what I just found.
Reporting from Moscow, 1961. The Kremlin has just received word that American family is bound for Russia, and we are preparing for their arrival. While our Premier Nikita Khrushchev was at luncheon in New York this past September, a professor from Harvard Law School by the name of Harold J. Berman approached him. Berman requested permission to spend a year with his full family here in Moscow. Our Premier welcomed him and his family, saying, "С удовольствием." The professor sees this experience as a hopeful way of helping the relationship between the two countries. He mentions his idealistic purposes to devote further study of Russian law and explore the nation's foreign trade setup. We will be following him closely. Осторожно. Accompanying Berman will be his wife Ruth and their 4 children, Stephen, Jane, Susanna, and John. The family will be staying at the Gostinitsa Nacional and arriving this August with the 4 children attending our Russian schools in September. Be aware. Осторожно.
Did you hear that message?
Oh, dear Miss Susanna, sounded scary and I couldn't understand all the words.
Yes, with that Russian accent. They knew we were bound for Russia, and I guess they were preparing.
But how did they know?
Probably read the article in the Boston Globe, and the premier let them know.
Oh, Khrushchev.
That's right, Khrushchev. There he is at the UN before the luncheon where my dad met with him.
But Miss Susanna, why? Why did your father take the whole family to Moscow during the Cold War? Wasn't he scared?
Oh no, not Professor Berman. My dad was fearless, and I think it was fun for him. You see, he was there in 1957 with Sherlock Holmes, solving great mysteries.
What? Is this him in this picture?
Yes, you see his notorious briefcase? He was in the courthouse. From what I understand, he was hired to obtain royalties from the Soviet state on the millions of Sherlock Holmes books sold then in the Soviet Union. Yes, he won the first case before it was appealed in this Moscow City courthouse in 1957.
He does look happy. Oh, and look, he's smoking a pipe, just like Sherlock Holmes.
You see, he was not afraid. In fact, he was into world peace, warming up the Cold War.
Ne demek?
At that age, all I remember is that he was on sabbatical.
What's that?
I wasn't sure at that time, but it sounded very impressionable. And when people asked, I told them,
Right.
he was on sabbatical. Yes, from Harvard Law School. If you want, you can read the article from the New York Times here, and the one from the Boston Globe here. It will give you a better idea of what was going on and why he wanted to go to Moscow.
But with all of you?
Well, he was a family guy. Oh, let me tell you, Ayşegül. There was so much going on when we arrived in Moscow. Plus the timing. Think about it. It was just 4 months after Yuri Gagarin conquered space that we were to land in Moscow.
Oh, Miss Susanna, how exciting. And now, who was Yuri Gagarin?
Look at this.
Ever since the Russian word Sputnik gained a firm foothold in the languages of all the peoples of the Earth, it was clear that the first spaceflight would be made by a Soviet man. But who would be the man to accomplish this unprecedented exploit? Here's a Soviet man who was trained by a vocational school, a technical school, and the Air Force.
We stayed the entire year at the Hotel National, which still sits across the street from the Kremlin, where you could see up to Red Square. I remember just sort of waking up when we arrived. Within minutes, our VW was surrounded with people. They were all looking in, walking around the bus. By the time I got out, somebody walked up to me and said, "Chewing gum, chewing gum."
Why did they ask for chewing gum?
That was my introduction to Moscow, the chewing gum, chewing gum. We had something they didn't have, I guess, and wanted, not to mention the foreign car, which was so much fun for them.
And what did they want to give you?
Pins, lots of pins of Lenin and Stalin. So I pinned on a few, on my jacket, hats. You had to have the colorful pins. Eloisa was there before us, and we stayed in the same hotel, so it was really fun to read her book. Remember the book, Eloisa in Moscow? We were in room 413, right next to hers. Fabulous illustrations by Hilary Knight.
Is this your hotel room?
Could have been. Last week I was discussing with my brother how on earth we came from a large house in the suburbs of Boston to live in 2 rooms. My parents lived in one attached room, and my brother, who was 17, had his own room down the hall. The 3 of us lived in this one room for 1 year.
Where is the kitchen?
I don't know. Mom had a 2-burner hot plate in her room, and Johnny and I only remember eating peanut butter sandwiches with honey. The bread was so delicious from the bakery around the corner. We arrived before school started, and there were no children to be seen. I was so sad.
But why?
Turned out, Dad found out that they were at summer camp and would be returning at the end of August. And they did. Children were bussed in. I watched from the hotel window. Because all schools in the Soviet Union started September 1st. So we went and got our school uniforms at GUM department store.
But where was that?
Right in Red Square. The fun part about the school uniforms is that they were brown and with a black apron and with black satin ribbons for your hair, which was in braids. But on special occasions, you changed the black apron to a white apron, and you changed your black satin ribbons to white satin ribbons, which for me was all wonderful. The first day of school, it was all white lace and satin.
Oh, look, there you are with Tanya.
Yes, on that special day.
Miss Susanna, can you tell me a story about you and Tanya?
Sure, I have a great story about when she invited me to her house. But let's do it in the morning. It's a bit late, and you should be getting home.
You're right, but tell me just something in the newspaper article in 1959.
Believe it or not, the article says that Berman was already hoping to take his whole family to Moscow. Such a dreamer. No dreams come true, as they say.
That's right. Happy talk. Talk about things you'd like to do.
Yes. If you don't have a dream, how are you going to have a dream come true?
Oh, Miss Susanna, you have a good imagination.
Merci. And thank goodness I can share it with you. See you in the morning.
See you in the morning.